Hi everyone, this is Lisa from TRW. In today's Facebook Live, we're going to go over some fun summer designs and also our rhinestone monogram fonts. So don't forget, if you are watching this later on YouTube, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow our posts so that you can catch us during a live broadcast. You can see all the questions and I will be able to interact with you right in real time, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to show you today is, let's go ahead and let's start with some vinyl first because it's easy, all right? So check this out. Have you guys seen this yet? So we got in, there are two new Caesar colors. So this one is the Easy Weed Passion Pink, and like, I'm not joking, this thing's passionate. Like, it is bright. This, like, the screen doesn't even come close. It's really bright and vibrant. I think it's really cool. To be totally honest, I always do a lot of muted colors, so finding something to do with this was actually a little bit difficult for me. But what we did is I grabbed a summer design. So the designs that I do in today's Facebook Live, there are two categories of them, basically. So these two designs, so this one and the rhinestone design that I'm going to do next, are going to be 80% off. So we'll put the link in a pinned post and you're going to use the code TRWYouTube80 for those designs. Now, if you want the rhinestone monogram font, this is a different deal, okay? So for those of you who have been following us and you kind of know how we run things, whenever we release a new font or design, it's 65% off for the first 24 to 48 hours, depending on how generous Matt is feeling, okay? What we've done with this kit, these rhinestone monogram fonts, is that we've discounted them additionally $10 on the website, okay? So these are marked $10 off, and then you can use the 65% off code to get 65% off of that markdown price, okay? Now, the reason why we're doing it 65% off for you now, and I'm extending it, is that we have not even announced this to our email list, okay? The only people who have seen this new font are the people who are following us on Facebook. So what we're doing for you guys is we're giving you a little bit more time to get that extra $10 off, and then we'll announce it to everyone. The $10 will go back up, okay? So that's one thing to keep in mind. But let's go through here, and I'm going to go over to this other side of the table and weed this design, show you what this looks like. And so one thing to note about the monogram fonts too is that TRW Release 65 code is actually good for the monogram fonts, but it's good for all monogram fonts and mini packs, okay? So if you're looking for some cool designs, we made it available for all monogram fonts and all mini packs. So let me get this cameo out of the way. Check this out. This is one that Matt made. TRW, okay? So let me get this, let me put it over here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and weed this design. So this design is cut on the new Passion Pink. I used my standard Easy Weed settings, and if you guys have been following for a little bit, we just go ahead and I do a little weed box and pull from there. How come you don't get emails? You might not somehow you might not have gotten on the list. You can always send us an email, info@therhinestoneworld.com, say you want to be added to the email list. Gabe could probably put something in the comments on how to get to the email list, that sort of thing. Is there a way to look up just rhinestone designs on our website? I don't know if we have just rhinestone. I know we have them by category, but I don't know if we have just rhinestones. I don't know. But don't forget to say hi. The mail said you're doing father and son shirts today. That's Friday. Today's Wednesday, silly. So Wednesday's live is summer stuff. Friday is father son. So hi everyone. Hi Valerie. So I'm just weeding this up. So this is part of the Easy Weed line. It should give you no trouble with it. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm just weeding it from here, kind of going from the side. Now this is, I don't know, this is brand new. We just got it. So I've noticed with this color in particular, and it's probably just because it's one of the early runs of it, that the carrier is a little bit stickier than what I'm used to. Like, it's not drastically stickier, but it's a tiny bit stickier. So just keep that in mind when you put your hand down on it. And if you're weeding it, like, there's nothing wrong with it. It just may be a little bit stickier. Which, hey, I'd rather have a sticky carrier because it keeps everything right. Oh, Joe, I'm right? Oh. How funny. But you know what, Joe? I actually did panic for a second because Gabe did ask me to double check that email. And so for a second, I second guessed myself, and I was like, oh, shoot, did I not check it correctly? Like that was literally my one job. All right, so I'm weeding this up. So you can see we have that really bright thing. Gabe panicked too. I know. I was sitting here and I was thinking, oh shoot, Gabe's gonna be so mad at me because I double checked that and everything. But I just knew to just, you know, confidently tell you, Joe, that you were wrong. And if I was wrong, I would have very quickly blamed Gabe on it because he's the marketing director. That's his job to check things, right? Right, Gabe? But yeah, don't forget, the monogram fonts are under TRW Release 65. And then these designs that I'm working on right now, so this beach design and then the rhinestone design I'm going to be doing in a few minutes, those are going to be 80% off. Joe's trying to keep me on my toes. Thank you. That was very generous of you. Matt would appreciate that as well. Oh, one more. Guys, you cannot believe how many times I've forgotten to weed certain parts of my design. Check this out. Life's a beach, and I'm just tanning. So let me go over, trim this off. Let me just kind of go to this front camera for now. So I'm going to trim this out. What font is on my shirt? I think this is a custom one. I don't think it's a font that we have on there. I think it's like a design we took and stoned it out. We do have fonts that are similar to it. You would just search on our website. I would check like 1 to 1.5 inch fonts on the website, and we'll go from there. So guess what, guys? I forgot to weed out a section of my palm tree. There you go. It looks a lot better. And so you guys, I know a lot of you guys like to cut down here. Whenever I have a little bit on the side, I actually just peel it off because too many times I have like cut the box, but I cut way too close to that remaining vinyl, and then I get a little sliver on my shirt. Have you guys had that before? It's not fun. Okay, so I'm doing something different today. Well, it's not super different, but I need your opinion before I even move on. So here is my passion pink. All right, do you want me to press it to a black shirt or a cream shirt? Okay, so here is my, let me go to the other camera because it'll be closer. So here is my, let me just, almost all of that made it in the trash, Jonathan. Thank you for getting me a trash can. So Jonathan, who helps with the Facebook Lives, there's a long stretch of time where he kept forgetting to leave me a trash can over here. And so the deal was if he forgot, I just threw everything on the floor. So we got better. Okay, here it is on both, all right? Which one do you like better? Okay, so we have the black and the cream, okay? Check it out. So I'm seeing a lot of, let's see, Dolores tricked me because her last name is White, but it says black. Okay, so let's see. We have decent amount of both coming through, but now, as I'm looking, it looks like a lot of you are saying black, okay? So let's see, black, black, cream, cream. I thought that you guys would unilaterally decide something, but it's really it's pretty split. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Here, I'm gonna go right here. This is scientific. It's luck of the draw. Okay, I'm gonna throw this in the air, and which one it lands on closer is what we're pressing it to. Okay. It's closer to. It landed on this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and press this to the cream color shirt. Okay. All right, so let's go over here. I'm at my Hotronix. This is my AutoClam 16 by 20. You guys know this press. Which one looks better on Gabe? I don't know. It depends on how much of a tan he has, which, by the way, just tanning. Where'd you go? All right, so let's go right here. This is the J America Glitter Tee. You guys know how I feel about these. I love it because it's got the gold glitters in it. It's very glam. As the kids say, I am living for it. That's what they say, right, Jonathan? He says I have no idea. Okay, so let's go through. So I always do a pre-press, especially here. It's been so rainy and wet and humid. It's just been not a fun time for shirts. So let's go through, and I'm going to do my pre-press. This is going to get rid of moisture and wrinkles. Ugh. Matt had the pressure up really high, but I can totally do this, all right? So let's go over here. All right. So this is not scientific, but whenever I do my pre-press, I like kind of patting my shirt. I don't know why, I just do. I like doing that. It's a thing. So let's go ahead and line up our design. Now V-necks make it a lot easier because you kind of go off of that. So I'm going to kind of line this up over here, bring it over, and because this is like a longer design, it's kind of narrow, the lining for me is a little bit easier because, like, where else are you going to go? You know, you can't worry about it being pressed too low because you have the V-neck and it's kind of further down. So I like it, personal preference, and this is standard Easy Weed, okay? It's just got a super awesome color and it's super fun. All right, so let's go ahead and press this a full 15 seconds. My press is set at 315 degrees. Typically for Easy Weed, I press it around 305, but I'm going to be doing some rhinestones in a little bit, so I just bumped it up to 315. Ugh. So let's go ahead and close this. Gabe, you should cut another so Lisa can put on the black shirt too, because Gabe is helpful and nice. No, Gabe just came in here to laugh at Bino when my monitor went out. Yeah. You tell him, Bino. All right, so let's go ahead and lift this. So one thing that I'm noticing about this Easy Weed is that, see, not that helpful and nice. Did you see that comment that just came through? What a jerk. Is that once it's hot, this did press a tiny bit darker, okay? So that's one thing to keep in mind, but not a big deal. I'm sure just like a lot of shirts that, you know, turn a little darker when they're pressed, this will fade back. But check this out. So, guys, never underestimate the power of a one-color shirt, okay? I really love this shirt. It's easy, and it looks good with that passion pink. What do you think? Do you guys like this one? Is it fun? Do you enjoy it? So don't forget, we are going to, is this in the pin post now? So this design is in the pinned comment already, all right? So this design and the next rhinestone design that I'm going to work on are both going to be 80% off using that code TRWYouTube80, okay? Now, with something like this, when you're doing the monogram font later, that's going to be a different code, so those will be different transactions. I don't think it's too small for this shirt. Well, keep in mind that it's going to curve around you, okay? So it's going to be like this, all right? Bino, I keep thinking you're calling him Beans. Nope, that's it, Beans. That's what I call him. No, his last name is Gambino, so we call him Bino, all right? So don't forget, someone will win this in a giveaway at the end of the live. So don't forget to like, comment, share. That's what gets you entered. And you guys, the last 2 weeks, you guys have been super crushing it with these lives, all right? Like, we've gotten over 500 people, which I'm pretty sure the past couple nights when Matt does his late ones, he hasn't hit that high either. So don't forget, if you guys get a whole bunch of people and we get a ton, I will give away more stuff, okay? So keep that in mind, all right? So let's go through. Are you guys ready for some rhinestone layering? Do you want to do that? What do you think? Okay, so tell me something, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Give me your opinion. Do you guys like when I do rhinestone designs in the live? Do you enjoy when I layer the colors? Would you rather me doing a ton of different vinyl layering? what are your feelings towards this? Like, what do you think? Okay. So we're going to do this one next. Tell me what you think about full rhinestone designs in the comments. Check it out. And we're going to do this. So this is our, I put this on upside down. This is the Livin' the Beach Life rhinestone design. I enjoy this because it's pretty big and obnoxious, and I think it's fun. So let me go over and we're going to start setting up our design. So let's go over to the I don't know, close-up camera and kind of let's talk about what's in here, all right? So we have our rhinestone template. Now keep in mind, when you work with rhinestones, each color and size, it's its own template. So we have 3 colors in this design. We have 3 templates, and they're all the same size. You see how these squares are the same size? Now that is because we're going to use this to layer our design. So let me go over and bring my colors over. So I'm actually going to turn my chalkboard a little bit. Honestly, for a purely selfish reason, it's easier for me to work this way. And I like showing you guys, but if I can't see it, well, it kind of doesn't look good for anyone. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to do, I'm going to do the biggest part first. So check this out. Now we have our Beach Life rhinestone template. Now remember, when you are storing your templates, so like, let's say you did what I did. You cut your templates, but you're not going to be brushing them in right away. When you store it on your tape, or your hot fix tape, store it on the paper side. Do not store it on this tape side, okay? See the shiny tape? This is what I'm going to peel off later. Don't store it on there because I've done that so many times and it sticks too well. It sticks too well to it, and then you have to recut your template later. All right, so let's do our crystal rhinestones. These are SS10. So guys, don't forget, your most common size of rhinestone is SS10. That's a 3mm rhinestone. Unless I specifically say otherwise, that is what I'm going to be using. So I have a whole bunch poured on, and I'm going to do gentle circles to brush these in place. Now, you guys have probably heard me explain it already, but the way this works is that the Magic Flock material is slightly raised, and our rhinestones are slightly pointed. So using the friction of each stone on each other, they basically will roll a stone back out if it's upside down. So that is why we need to have a lot of rhinestones in here, because if you only have a few, there isn't that other stone or, you know, these other ones that will help it roll out. Okay, so I'm pretty much done. Let's go ahead and just use our brush to brush out these extra ones. This is the monster brush. I am using this for now because I have a really big part of my design that I'm working on. Now, you can use the small red handle brush, which you guys know is my ride or die. I love it. But for time's sake and without you guys feeling super bored, I use my big brush to kind of get it going. So now I'm just making sure I don't have rhinestones sitting on top. You're gonna notice rhinestones sitting on top. They're almost gonna be like in between certain rhinestones there. So just check that out. Oops, I just knocked a whole bunch out when I did that. And that's one thing to note. If you have stones that are like, you're missing one here, don't focus on that one. Just do a little pile, bring it on top, and just do gentle circles. If you're focusing on just one stone, you're actually going to kind of smash down on your template a little bit too hard, and you're very likely to just knock more out, all right? So let's go right here. All right, so I have like one right here. Let's see. I'm just checking to make sure there are no more on top. One right here. All right, so now we're looking pretty good. So now here's the next part. We need to do our tape, all right? And someone says Beach Life looks great on its own. Yeah, I really like it. Like, this would be really nice for bags. You know, you could do your one color. And that's the good thing. That's the thing that I like about this design while we're talking about it, is that with something like this, you can just use parts of it and still be able to sell it. You know, like you can have the add-ons. So this is a great thing you can offer your customers, like, hey, do you want just this Beach Life design, or do you want me to add these 2 colors? You know, this is $20, $25, but if you want those other colors, we're sitting at $35. You already had the other templates cut. It's not like an additional cost for you, but hey, might as well. All right, so I'm just gonna peel this template off because I'm gonna use this piece of tape. So when we do our multiple colors, we want to layer our tape, and we want to have our tape longer than our design, all right? So let's go over here. How many stones are in my jar? So this is, let me think. I think I started off with like 300 gross in here. And so I've been using it probably close to 250 at this point. I don't know. Honestly, I just kind of, whenever I have to get more rhinestones, I took like every little bag I had in my drawer and put them all in here because there was no point to keep them separate. All right? So let's go right here. Let's peel off our tape. That would be a fun giveaway. Guess the amount of stones. Maybe, but that means someone would have to count them. And I do not volunteer for that. Maybe we should just hire an intern for that or something, right? You agree. Jonathan goes, I agree, because he knows he would have been volunteered for that. All right. So we're going to go right here. Now, this is my, I don't know. Let's get Bino to do it. Gabe says that. This is my method. I don't know if Matt does it, but I like this. So because I need to do extra tape on this side, I'm going to do one edge really close to my box, okay? That way I can ensure that I have the longest hinge possible on the other side. And now just drop it quickly. Don't second guess yourself. Do not start putting it down and then lift it up, because you're going to touch some of the stones. It's going to misalign. You're going to start over. You're going to be really unhappy, and you're going to think that rhinestones are not for you, okay? Rhinestones are definitely for you. You know, making mistakes doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means that you're learning, okay, guys? So I know some of you named Todd keep saying that they don't want to try rhinestones, but you can totally do it, everyone and Todd. So let's go ahead. Let's lift this up. All right, so you see how all these stones came up? All right, so now I'm going to take this. I'm going to leave it attached. So don't lift your tape up, just set it to the side. Sometimes I'll put like scissors or something down to kind of hold it down. And now we can clean up our stones. So you guys know I either clean up my stones with the tape on or off. It's really just whatever I feel like, to be honest with you. Todd, I'm teasing you. I know you're a good sport. All right, so let me go over and let's go ahead and clean up our stones. Whenever you guys do your multiple stone colors, make sure you're cleaning them. For a big design like this, you definitely want to clean them. A lot of times when you do small decal stuff like that, you can kind of like put your stones to one side and not worry about it. That doesn't work with me. I'm too accident prone. Once I did that and I bumped the board and I dropped the whole thing. So like, that's a no-go for me. Oh, by the way, guys, you're gonna really love a video that's gonna go up maybe like next week or whatever. I cut like a really long decal, like 8.5 feet, and I had a setting wrong. I did the weed lines feature in Business Edition, and it was set, the weed lines were set to Magic Flock and not wall vinyl, and it literally, the whole cut was fine, and then it cut my weed lines, and it cut straight through my backing. And then I tried to unload it, and it got jammed. It got jammed in my Cameo. So all you hear is like, all you see is it getting stuck, and then you hear me going, "Argh!" So that's a nice little video that I think you're gonna like, because everyone makes mistakes, right? So let's go right here. Let's clean this up. All right, so let's go right there. And guys, when you're doing this, you're probably going to clean it a lot faster than me. I'm over here like looking at the monitor, checking your questions, making sure, you know, I'm not missing anything. And again, times like this where I'm brushing in stones, if you guys have questions, please ask them. Because, I mean, I don't need to concentrate that much at stones. Oh, you know, you got voted to count how many stones are in there. You quit? Do you want a pen and a paper? You can do like the tally mark system. 1, 2, 3. All right, so check this out. We have this all set. Now don't forget, this is our TRW Magic Flock. This is the rhinestone template material. I cut this on the silhouette, okay? So you guys know I teach silhouette. I do know how to use the larger cutters, but I like using my Cameo. Honestly, I love the convenience of keeping it on my desk and not having to go anywhere. So for those of you with Silhouette who say you can't do this, yes, you can. I have faith in you. All right, so there's our first color. That's going to be the longest cleanup just because that was the most stones. So we're going to go over and we're going to put our second color down, all right? So let's go ahead and do this. Guys, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I brushed in the wrong color just now. This Beach Life was supposed to be blue zircon, but we're going to just go with it, okay? So this is blue zircon. This is what Beach Life was supposed to be, but I got distracted. So now it's going to be reversed. Oops. Sorry, guys. Jonathan confused me. So let's go ahead. You did, Jonathan. Don't ask questions. You just did. All right, so let's go right here. So we're going to go over here. Check it out. That star was super easy. Let's get that going. All right, so we have our text, and then let's go ahead and do our thing. Oh, cut back corner of the board. Meh, they'll be fine. So let's go right here. All right, so we have our design mainly done. I'm just going to finish a couple more stones. All right, so we have this all set. Now this sand dollar doesn't look very good, and that's just because the text cuts through it, okay? So I didn't miss a bunch of spots in here. That's part of the design. So let's go right here. Let's get these extras out of there. Okay, yes, we are improvising. The good thing is all these colors work well together, and like, you know, seafoam green sand dollars are a really common occurrence, so like no one's gonna think twice about this. Hey, I want to show you guys something. So this rhinestone right here is chipped. Let me see if I can get it close enough to the camera. Hold on, maybe you can. So just take my word for it that rhinestone was chipped. So I noticed that, and so I took it out. I'm gonna put a little pile on top and brush again to get my stones to fill in. So we're all set. All right, so we have that all good. And let's get this extra out of here. Okay, so here are my rhinestones. I'm all set. And so now here's our second color. This is how we layer it, all right? So don't forget, for those of you who've been watching, you should know this routine by now, but it's always good for a refresher. So what's happening is my tape folded on itself. All right, there we go. So what's happening is that these squares are always the same size, so we're lining up our design with that. And then this tape is always in the same spot. So the square and the tape are kind of, you know, anchor points. They're registration marks, if you will. So let's go ahead, hold it tight, bring it down. Don't second guess yourself, just commit, bring it down. All right, so let's go right here. And now here's my other way of cleaning up my rhinestones. Let's go ahead and smooth the edges of our tape. So I'm smoothing the edges because I don't want rhinestones to get under it during cleanup. All right, and here's my very scientific way that only I do because I like it. I shake my board to kind of loosen up my rhinestones and then go from there and brush these up. Do any of you do that? Or is that just something that I did? I don't know. Because I've never seen anyone do that, but I feel like it helps. Because it gets it off the edges. Like, that's the hardest part with cleaning up rhinestones off the board, in my opinion, is that the edges kind of keep it stuck in there. You're killing me with your true life issues today. Hopefully it's not that bad. All right, so let's go right here. We're cleaning it. Okay, so you guys do that too? I think it's super effective. Oh, so a couple tips with the scoop. One, don't forget to put the cork in it. I don't know why I would give you that advice. But yeah, don't forget to put the cork in it. And then also sometimes, like when I'm in a rush, I'll scoop up my stones like this, and then I'll just like put it to the side. And then when I do my next color, I just go ahead and dump them in there, and that's how I mix colors of rhinestones. So just be careful. So this is why I love the scoop. I'm gonna put it right in this bag. So now everything's come out. Make sure you shake it. And I can just grab my little cork. Boop. All set. And we're all good to go. What's the name of this design? It's I think it's called Living the Beach Life. It is in the pinned comment, okay? So if you want this design, it's in the pinned comment. In the pinned comment, there is also a code to get this design 80% off. So let's go ahead and lift this. Every now and then you'll get like a stone that doesn't come up. Just go ahead and flatten it. This right here, I noticed I have an extra stone that made it on there. So I'm going to kind of poke at it, get that out of there, and then flatten this again. So I'm going to use my little there it is. Use my weeding tool to kind of nudge this out of here. Now, typically I would use tweezers, but I was a little overconfident in myself, and I thought, no, I'm not going to have any issues with my rhinestones. So I did not get tweezers to pick this off, but everything's fine. We're okay. All right, so you fix that. I knocked the stone up, so I'm going to flatten that. So now, when I bring this back down, it picked up that stone that I was missing, all right? So sometimes stones don't come up. That's not a big deal. That's really common, especially like when you're layering multiple colors. You just put your tape back down and reflatten it, and you're all good. Now, what I like to do whenever I'm doing multiple colors is I only keep one down and I keep stacking on top of that. So I never have more than 2 down at a time because I don't want my templates to stack up too high. It's definitely not, you know, a necessary thing. You don't have to do that. It's something that I prefer just because I don't want to keep layering right on top. All right, so what we're doing is we're lining up these squares. Don't forget these squares are how these colors line up, all right? So let's go ahead and put it right here. And now I'm going to be using TRW Pink. These are SS10, and I have a 50 gross bag. All right, so let's go right here. And let's drop our stones on here. TRW Pink is a really pretty like bubblegum pink. I love it. All right, so let's go right here. I'm using my monster brush to brush these in. All right, so I have a couple over there that need to be filled in. Cool. All right, so let's go right here. And I'm going to switch to my red handle brush. I don't know. For a design like this, I feel like I have more control. I was trying to use the monster brush because I know Matt loves it, but I just couldn't do it. All right, so let's go ahead and get these out of here. Let's move this to the side as well. Would love to have that template. Well, this will be given away at the end. So this template will be one of my giveaways. I'm going to give away both shirts that I make, and I don't know, if we get more people, I might give away more stuff, okay? So I know we hit 300, but guys, that's old news. You guys have been hitting 300 for weeks now. Come on. All right, so let's go over here. So let's bring it. Don't forget, hold tension, okay? So I'm kind of pulling out to hold tension so that it goes flat, all right? So let's use our little brush. Cool, so we can lift this up. Now, especially if you're putting multiple colors down, there's a very high chance that maybe one of these colors don't come up right away. Not a big deal. Just flatten it back down, smooth it, and then you're good. So we're pulling this up, and now I'm going to just put this down, upside down, and put my backing right on it, like right away, all right? Just to be safe. I don't want to touch it. I don't know if it made it, like, I don't know if we have that footage anywhere, but a couple weeks ago I was doing rhinestone videos, and I accidentally, like, my tape got caught in my hand, and it folded over itself, and I had this big, like, nasty tape ball that I couldn't separate. Did you see that footage, Jonathan? I was doing, I think, a patriotic design, and my tape folded over on itself, and it's just like, it was terrible. Okay, so check this out. Living the beach life. And now that I think about it, I like those colors, so that was a good mistake, all right? So let's go over to the heat press. You guys remember this thing? All right, so this is going to be on a black shirt, all right? So we have our J America glitter tee in black, all right? I think it pops better on there. Of course, you can do whatever color you want. I just like using this black shirt. All right, do you think there will be a rhinestone sale? Which stones do you prefer, regular A, B? The rhinestone sale is a good question for Gabe, but I like both colors, the normal and the AB, for different reasons. Now, the AB stones have a coating on them, so they are great if you're outside. They are great if you're in an area where you have like direct light, you know, like dancers on stage. But the normal stones sparkle really well. So it really depends on what you're using. I know for some designs I have been doing AB, but really it's just a matter of preference. All right, let's bring that over. So just giving it one more look over. All the backs look good. Whenever you're working with rhinestones, you want to see this like nice gray glue. That is the glue. So rhinestones have a heat activated glue. You want to make sure it looks pretty good. All right, so let's go ahead, set this up. So we have that all set. I'm just using my armpits to mark the center of my chest. So let's kind of go from there. All right, so now we're going to cover and press again. So since we are just doing one press with rhinestones, I'm going to do the whole 15 seconds. Sorry, Todd. I know we need a mic. The mic is behind me, so I try to turn around and talk while I'm doing that, but I'm not a contortionist, unfortunately. Who would have thought? So we're going to let this go. I have 2 more seconds. All right, so don't forget, when you're using ladies' shirts specifically, just thinner shirts in general, make sure you separate it right away, because sometimes the glue can kind of, like if it's a thin shirt, the glue from the stones will kind of go through, and you don't want it to glue your shirt shut. All right, so let's go right here. So now we have our Livin' the Beach Life. I would love a boom mic overhead, Gabe. That'd be cool. I'd love to have one of those. Boom mic. So check it out. So we have Livin' the Beach Life. Do you guys like this one? So it wasn't too hard layering multiple colors, right? So while you guys are telling me what you think of that, I'm going to put my templates back on my backing. So I'm going to take this paper backing that I used for my tape. You can reuse this tape, but for conservation purposes, it's more important to take it off so I can use this paper backing to store my templates. So we have this. Let's go ahead and do our flip-flops. Flip-flops. So this is how I store my templates. Because I've already cut the tape to be the size of my template, you might as well store it on that, okay? Todd, thank you. I personally, I love brushing in big rhinestone designs. I think that, honestly, I think they're a little bit easier because you have more space to work with. And like, who doesn't like a big rhinestone design? Like, I love them. All right. So don't forget, templates will be given away at the end. This shirt will also be given away at the end. It'll be super fun. Okay. So this next one, I am going to make a custom item for one of you. All right. So I need participation. And what I'm going to do is we're going to use the same software that we used to pick winners, except we're going to, actually, can we do that? No. I forget. No. Just forget about that. I'm just going to kind of close my eyes and pick someone. Okay. So we are going to do a rhinestone 3-letter monogram. All right. So I'm going to pick one of you to make a left chest rhinestone monogram. Do you guys want that? Okay, so go ahead and in the comments, put down the 3 letters in order you want to look like of the monogram that you want me to do. Todd, look, even Gabe is calling you out now. Okay, what are good cut settings for Magic Flock on the Silhouette Cameo? I have been doing my blade at 5, blade 5, speed 10, double cut, thickness anywhere between 24 and 26. We do have it on our cutter specs section of our website, so check that out. Okay, so keep doing your initials in order. I'm going to keep doing that. All right, keep going. I'll give you a couple more minutes to put your monogram down while I clean up these rhinestones. Okay? So keep going. In hindsight, I should have picked someone by, like, who could give me the best compliment. I'm just joking. I would not do that. That's so ridiculous. Okay, 3 letters. I'm going to count down from 10, and then I'm going to close my eyes and point at the screen. It's very precise and scientific, and the person I'm pointing to is the person I'm doing their monogram, okay? All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. Okay, Stephanie, I'm doing yours. SWM for Stephanie. Stephanie Keith Ward. SWM, don't let me forget. SWM. SWM. Okay, SWM. SWM. Okay, so here we go. So this is what we're going to do. And let me talk to you about what's going on in here. So those of you who watched Matt's live last night, some of this will be a repeat. But the cool thing about this is that we have our rhinestone fonts. Okay, it also comes with a vector format, so you can put rhinestones on top for decals. But the coolest thing is it comes with an SVG version that it has all your letters set up, and all you have to do is cut, okay? So if you guys are not familiar with rhinestone fonts, we have something called the Magic Flock version, which is the MF version. So if you look closely, they have boxes around them. These letters are all individual letters. So this works out because you don't have to cut one monogram one time, so Eddie's monogram will only work for him, okay? That was loud. Will only work for him. But we can piece together our letters and do this for as many monograms as we want, okay? So one thing to note about that is we also gave you the cut file for this, so you could just feed it in and cut it. You don't have to type everything out. Now, one thing that we did update today that I think you guys who use Silhouette will be very helpful. I was trying to say happy and find it helpful. That was so bad. Anyway, that Silhouette users will find very helpful is that the SVG version has been kind of consolidated. So what we did is we took the squares and knocked the rhinestones right out of it. So instead of having like a square backing with like the black dots on top to represent the rhinestones, we basically flattened it into one object, which will make it a lot easier for you guys to open up in Silhouette Studio. Okay? Thank you, Donna, for catching me saying hatful. Awesome. Okay, so let's go over here. And what colors should we do this monogram? So I'm thinking we should do crystal and cobalt, okay? So cobalt, this royal blue cobalt, all right? So, wait, it was SWM? Is that what it was? Did you write it down?
Yeah, it's SWK.
No, there's no K in it. There's no way. Which, so should we re-download the file? Yes. If it doesn't work, then just email us. SWM. Thank you, Gabe. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F. Don't need any of those. G, H, blah, 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 blah. M, we need the M, so we need the right M, okay? So this is the right. I'm just going to stick them on the board. We're not lining it up right now. And then we need our S. What'd you say? Yeah, apparently everybody else knew. And you were the guy who was assigned to write it down and not let me forget. The joke around here, guys, is that Bino is like notoriously bad at spelling, and somehow he misspelled that. Okay? So here are 3 letters. And so the cool thing about this is we can do this in 2 colors, and we don't have to worry too much about layering. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this letter, and we're going to line it up. So we're just going to line it next to the boxes. Okay? You see that? Perf, cute, love it. All right? And now let's do our second color. And so we're only going to brush in 2 at a time, but we're laying down all 3 now to get the positioning correct. So let's go right here. All right, SWM, okay? So let's go over here. I cannot believe you guys are like really hanging on to this hatful thing. Bina goes, huh. All right, so let's take this out. Because we have the spacing correct, we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to go over here. Let's do our first color. So let's do, I'm trying to think if I want to do crystal on the outside or inside. I'll do crystal on the inside. Let's do cobalt first, all right? So let's go. Donna! You are not letting this go. All right, so let's go right here. So don't forget, this font is like a huge pack. We have it discounted an additional $10. And then we have TRW Release 65 that will give you 65% off, okay? So we have not even put this, we haven't even sent out an email about this. The only people who know about this font are people who have watched us on Facebook, okay? So take advantage of that. Now, don't forget, this TRW 65 works for this monogram font, but it actually works for all monogram fonts and mini packs, okay? So really good value. So I'm actually going to take this tape I used earlier. Oops, I almost like dropped my brush. I'm going to go ahead and trim this part off. We're reusing, guys, okay? So let's go right here. Don't forget, we're going to do our big hinge. Drop it down, commit. Do you see how quickly that went? Oh, yeah. All right, so now we have that. I'm going to clean up my stones right now, actually. So let's go right here. Let's bring this down. So we have our crystal stones all set up. Oop, I just like shook one right out. And I'm just going to dump it like this. I don't always recommend dumping your stones like that because if you have a ton in there, they kind of fly out the top too, and you just made a mess, you know? All right, so let's go right here. Oh my gosh, what is with you guys in the hatful thing? You guys are the worst. All right, so let's lift this up. We have our hinge. And now we can go over. Line up. It's a W, right? Yeah, it's a W. Line this up. I suddenly got like super like self-conscious about layering this in there. No, I don't like it. It's a little crooked. How tall is the finished monogram? This monogram is, I think, 3 inches tall, 2.5, 3. I can't remember off the top of my head, but maybe Gabe knows. So now we can take these two off. So we can set that to the side. And now let's just do our crystal. Okay. Someone said, I love that you talk from experience what not to do. Yeah, you guys, I think, I don't know if you're still doing it, but for a while, Jonathan or Bino was like taking clips of all my videos where I've been making mistakes to do like a really nice blooper reel. Are you still doing that? He's not, he's stalling. He's not doing it. But I'm not kidding you guys. One day I could definitely release a blooper reel of all the mistakes I've made, okay? So let's go through. Here we go. Boom. So we have our 2 color. Let's kind of bring that down. And we have that all set. All right, so we have this all good. And then, let me see if I can do this. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to put this down first, but you know, I'm gonna wing it, okay? So let's find the middle of this, maybe. Here, this is what I'm gonna do. Can you guys see this side? I'm gonna put this like around like that. This is not the proper method, just so you know. But I wanna do this. Okay, so now I can do a circle around my monogram. And it's a little crooked, I don't like that. Let's bring this down a little bit. Let's see how that looks. Oh, I crushed it. Yes. Okay, so now we're gonna do the little ring around there. Because I wanna press it in one. Matt warned me about this, but I being cavalier about it, whatever. All right, I like all of you. I have noticed many more men are commenting in my lives. It's probably because 3 of you won giveaways last week. That was pretty impressive. All right, let's go through here. We're brushing in our stones. All right, so let's go through. We got that extra one. Cool, so we brushed in our circle. Well, so Beth says if you put the right and left back down, you have a square to match your circle too. They actually don't line up perfectly. That's why I didn't do it, because I remember Matt warned me about it. But I'm gonna be totally honest, I forgot what the solution was, so I just winged it. Whatever. What am I doing this? This is a chalkboard. This is a $7 chalkboard from Hobby Lobby. For rhinestones, all you need is a flat surface. So anything like that, anything will work. But, you know, whatever is best for you. So let's go through here, and I don't have a paper backing because I already cut it up. So let's go right here, and we're just going to go straight to pressing. Alrighty. So let's go over here, and I am going to be pressing this on a cream. Oh, gotta bring the microphone so you can hear me. I'm going to be pressing this onto a cream shirt, okay? And so the reason why is because the cobalt has cobalt by itself on black sometimes can be hard to see. So I'm going to put this down and show you. So you can kind of see it in there, but do you guys see how it's almost like lost in there? It's like it's not the best, all right? So cobalt looks good on black shirts if it's paired with things, but if you have large sections like this or where you need more legibility, it does become a bit difficult. It looks okay in the camera, but sometimes it's not super great. So if you're gonna do like a dark blue with something like this, I recommend doing the Montana stone, which is closer to a navy color. I think that is a little bit easier to work with. All right, so let's go through. Bring our shirt up and pre-press, all right? Ugh. Now, I'm having a total brain fart. This shirt's for Stephanie, right? Yes. All right. Very scientific padding. Okay, so we're gonna do left chest. So tell me before I press, you guys tell me, how many of you are not good at pressing left chest pieces? All right. What do you think? So while I wait on that, let me tell you a couple things. So if you guys are thinking about getting a new cutter, we have the Graphtec deal going through tomorrow. So don't forget, you can get a $100 rebate, an extra year warranty, and then special artwork pack pricing, just so you know. There's a couple things I'll tell you in a minute. But Brooke is not good at left chest, as she says. If you guys remember Hope, who worked here, when Hope worked here, she could never do it. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, she was so bad at left chest pressing. Like, she pressed a shirt for Beano once, and I like laugh every time I see it because it's literally like a left armpit press. Like, it's so bad. All right. So here's how I do it. Now, there's still some, I don't know, variances that you have to work with. Now, one thing to note, our armpit here marks the center of our chest, okay? And then our head always goes through the collar, okay? So here's the problem, and I just saw someone comment saying they do that. Most people press too far to the left. Now, one thing we have to remember when we do left chest presses is that this part of the shirt right here kind of curves around, okay? Let me kind of squat so you can see me. So like, here's the seam, all right? So I have extra space on my shirt. So don't go off of here. Go off of here, all right? So we're gonna kind of line it up based on that and my armpit. Now, depending on the shirt, you may have to adjust accordingly. So if you are pressing like a lady's like 3X or something like that, it's very likely, you know, you may have to adjust for the bust size or something like that. So, you know, use a little bit of common sense based off of the shirt size, but we're going to kind of put it like that. And before I, you know, kind of found a good method for me for left chest, I would just hold the shirt up to me and like stick this down and use heat tape to figure it out. So if you want to do it that way, totally, whatever works for you, okay? So here's an extra piece of hot fix tape that was on my cover sheet. All right, I'm just doing one color, so let's go ahead and do my 315. Ugh. I have the pressure up really high on this press because when in doubt, turn the pressure up. So sometimes I have to like put all my weight down for that. So don't forget, I'm going to separate the shirt right away. That way the glue doesn't go through the back. We're going to go ahead and peel this up. All right. Check it out. Let me go over to the front camera. All right, here's the moment of truth, guys. How does it look? Boom. Look at that. Left chest. Now, when it's put on, don't forget it kind of goes out a little bit more, so it'll look a little bit better, but check it out. So this is for Stephanie. So Stephanie, your next order that requires shipping, just put in the notes that you want a shirt from today's Facebook Live, and it'll be placed in there. Now, for everyone who wins something today, or if you win a TRW giveaway, just keep in mind, try to order within the next 2 weeks because we have to kind of cycle through the shelves. So we have to make sure you claim your prize is basically what happened. Okay, so I'm not done, but I'm done, okay? So for those of you who are going to watch this later on the replay on YouTube, that's kind of our Facebook Live. Now, if you want to be able to comment in real time, if you want to be able to have your questions answered, I definitely recommend like us on Facebook. Make sure you turn on your notifications. Make sure you have us top of your news feed because this is one of my favorite things, and I love teaching this sort of thing. So we're going to kind of leave it from that. Hopefully we see you on Facebook later.